On Friday, we took a quiz on solving equations. Let's review our work so we can learn from our mistakes. This student had a little bit of difficulty with the distributive property and with combining like terms. So let's take a look. So this individual multiplied 5 times 3 and got 15. Nice, that's great. But then next you have to multiply 5 times 6. You got to make sure you distribute it to every term inside the parentheses. And that should have given you 30. So it should look like 15 plus 5 times 6 is 30 equals what? 45. Unfortunately, because they did not distribute right here, they added 15 and 6, giving us the wrong answer of 21. We now can see that the correct answer should have been 45. That's okay. We're going to learn from our mistakes, and let's take a look at another one. Here we have 3 times m plus 8 plus 10m. So did they distribute? Yep. Nice job. 3 times m. And then here they distributed 3 times 24. So they remembered to do it here and here. And then they brought down the 10m. Nice job. So then we have 3m plus 10m, which gives us 13m. Nice. But you forgot to bring down the plus 24. You can't forget that. So this is our answer, 13m plus 24. Without it, that's going to be the wrong answer, but I can see that you got the concepts down, so nice job. This student had a little bit of difficulty with the inverse operation, and she and I already reviewed her work on Friday a little bit, but we're going to continue. So here I see it's 6 plus n equals 18, and I know that if there's no sign in front, it's a positive 6, right? So we have to do the opposite. The opposite of positive 6 is negative 6, so we're going to subtract 6 from both sides, and when we do that, we know that the 6's cancel out, and then we're going to subtract 6 from 18, and that's going to give us n equals 12. And we can see I wrote that down already right here. She added 6 and 18. 24 is not the answer. 12, however, is. Let's take a look at a few more. Here I see it's 5 plus a equals negative 20. She added 5 and negative 20. She combined these to give us negative 15. Let's see what she should have done. What we're going to do is I'm actually going to very quickly rewrite the equation. So 5 plus a equals negative 20. And what we're going to do is we need to get the a by itself, right? So we'll subtract 5 from both sides. The reason we're subtracting is because even though we don't see it, we know that this is a positive 5. So positive 5 minus 5 is 0. So all we're left with is the a. And the a equals what? Negative 20 minus 5 is negative 25. That's our answer. Let's take a look at a few more. We always need to get the variable by itself. So the first thing we're going to do is add whatever number, or do the inverse operation of whatever number is next to the variable. And in this case, it's a negative 2. It says c minus 2 equals negative 8. So if it's minus 2, we're going to have to do the opposite. So I can see that she did minus 2, or negative 2 minus 8. And then interestingly got 10. If she was doing negative 2 minus 8, it would have been negative 10. But let's make sure we do this appropriately. So c minus 2 equals negative 8. Let's do plus 2, both sides, because that's the opposite, right? That's the inverse operation. And I know that the 2's cancel out. So all we're left with is c equals what? Negative 8 plus 2 is going to be negative 6. So negative 6 is our answer, not 10. Let's take a look at this one. Likewise, we need to get the m by itself. It says m minus 9 equals negative 5. Let's add 9 to both sides. And when we do that, the 9's cancel out, and we're left with, it says negative 5, right? Negative 5 plus 9. Negative 5 plus 9 on the left side. So the answer to that is going to be positive 4. So all we're left with is this. I'll sort of bring this over here. It's m equals 4. Great. One thing that I like that this student did is he or she did the inverse operation by subtracting 18 to both sides. But that's not what we want to do. We need to get the n right, by itself. So instead of subtracting 18 from both sides, let's subtract 6 from both sides. And I know that 6 minus 6 is 0, so all we're going to be left with is n equals, and 18 minus 6 is 12. So this student made the little mistake of not doing the inverse operation of the number on the side with the variable. That's okay. Actually, this same student also had a little bit of difficulty with combining like terms. So he multiplied 3 times m and got 3m, nice, and then 3 times 8 and got 24, great. We then need to bring down the 10m, and here's where there's some confusion. We know that we can combine like terms, so 3m and 10m are going to give us 13m, but then there's also the 24 there, right? So we know that should be 13m plus 24. It looks like you multiplied the 10 by this 3m to get 30m. I'm not really sure why you did that, and I'm not really entirely sure where this 24 went. So we want to make sure that when we see something like this, and it looks like you had a great start, that we simply combine like terms, and we know that we cannot simplify this any further. These are going to be the last problems we look at, and this student started off great. We know that we need to solve to find b by doing the inverse operation, and I can see that there's a division sign, so we're going to be multiplying. So she multiplied the left side by 2, and these of course canceled out, nice, so all that we're left with is b. And then she multiplied the other side also by 2, and negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Great job. Amazing. So this shows me that you know how the process works. Let's take a look at number 14, because we had a little bit of difficulty, and I think I know where your confusion is. So you recognized that we needed to isolate the m, or that variable, so you multiplied the m by 9, great, and then you canceled out, nice. It should, however, have been negative 9, but I see what you did. I think you simply forgot that. We got the m by itself, great. Then you divided this side by negative 9. And you're right, this is over here, but we did not want to do that. What we wanted to do instead was multiply this. So we multiplied this side by negative 9, which resulted in it canceling out. Then we got to do the left side by negative 9, giving us positive 72. So m should have equaled 72. Let's make sure that we follow all the appropriate steps. Ladies and gentlemen, you're doing great. Appreciate your hard work.